Today we're going to be talking about how to create a non-watertight mesh, and in my scene I have several different pieces that I'm going to be putting together, and you can see that I have half of several pieces and I'm going to be mirroring those and welding those. So let's go from there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I have these pieces, and the reason why I'm not going to go over how to create them is because we've talked about that in other videos, but I am going to show how I can put these together and then weld them together. Okay, so all I'm going to do is line these up. Okay, then I have the head here. This is probably going to be a relatively short video. Then I have this hand right here. All right, so let's get this hand . Change this to local. Change this to local. Okay, so I'm going to go into this editable poly, and I'm going to shrink this loop. So I'm going to select an edge and select loop and scale it. And since this isn't a watertight mesh, I'm not really worried about whether or not we have any clipping. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is mirror each one of these. I'm going to make sure that I create a copy of it. And click OK. I want to make sure that my edges line up. Maybe rotate this just a bit. Okay, so we've got that pretty much where I want it to be. So I'm going to attach the other using Edit Poly, Attach. Then I'm going to select those verts because I want those vertices in the middle to be connected. Because even though we're not worried about it being a watertight mesh, we don't want this big gape, this big gaping hole in his face. So I'm going to go to my Weld tool, go to my settings, and we can see that a lot of them, just by the default settings, have closed up, but not quite all of them. So I'm just going to continue to move my threshold up. And once I have that pretty good, I'm going to click OK. Maybe I'll select these down here and weld those as well. And I'm looking for any holes that we still have. So here, and weld. Okay, so I've got my head finished, no holes. I'm going to mirror that as well. Okay, click OK there. And again, I'm going to select one, Edit Poly, attach the other side. Go to my vertex, and I want to select those vertices in the middle. Again, go to Weld. I can see before I had 646, now I have 619. So that tells me that those vertices have been welded. I'm going to do the same thing here. Mirror. Okay. Attach. Weld. 676 before. Now I'm at 666. Okay. And I've got this hand. I'm going to mirror this hand. There are other tools I can use like symmetry and whatnot, but I kind of like mirror. There we go. What I'm going to do is just try to get this in the same position. And when I have that the way I like, then I'm going to weld all these pieces together. I want it to be one mesh. So I'll again go into my Edit Poly, attach, select everything. I have one mesh. And that's about it. We've gone over 2 different ways to create watertight models, and this one is not watertight because we do have gaping holes and we have different pieces, but that's okay. So what I would suggest is to play around with those and see which one you enjoy better and have fun.